Question 146. The FHA requires loan applicants to make a down payment of at least of the sales price of the property. A. 1.5%. B. 002, C. 005, D. None of the above. Correct answer is D. All of the above. These payments are usually kept in an impound account, also called a reserve account or an escrow account. The funds in the account are used by the lender to pay taxes, insurance, and other charges whenever they are due. Question 147. Broker Ben shows a property to prospective purchasers Patty, who offers him a deposit. Ben's acceptance of the deposit on behalf of the owner is based on the A. Deed of sale, B. Listing agreement, C. Purchase agreement, D. Title search. Correct answer is B. Listing agreement. The listing agreement is the contract between the seller, owner, and the broker, Ben, that authorizes the broker to act as the seller's agent and find a buyer for the property. This agreement typically grants the broker the authority to accept deposits on behalf of the seller. Question 148. Building standards in California are set statutorily by the Housing Act. Regarding the building regulations in the state's unincorporated areas, the Housing Act A. applies, along with the County Building Code. B. does not apply, since it is in effect only for urban public housing. C. does not apply, since it is in effect only for incorporated areas. D. does apply if the County Building Code does not. Correct answer is A. applies along with the County Building Code. California Housing Act establishes statewide minimum building standards. Even in unincorporated areas outside city limits, the California Housing Act applies. Counties also have their own building codes, which can be stricter than the state standards. The state and county building codes work together. The state act sets the minimum, and the county can add to those requirements. Therefore, both the California Housing Act and the County Building Code are relevant in unincorporated areas, with the more stringent of the two sets of regulations enforced. Question 149. The acronym HELOC refers to A. House Enterprise Lockout Clause, B. Home Equity Line of Credit, C. Housing Estate Location Organization Credit, D. Homeland Event Life-Owned Company. Correct answer is B. Home Equity Line of Credit. Like a traditional mortgage, a HELOC is a line of credit taken out against real estate or available real estate equity. Unlike a traditional mortgage, HELOC borrowers are advanced sums up to the maximum withdrawal amount originally approved by the lender. Question 150. A. An underscore 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 provides the holder with the right to use another person's property without holding an estate. A. Easement, B. Variance, C. License, D. Reversionary interest. Correct answer is A. Easement. A variance is a permission granted by a local government to deviate from zoning regulations. A license grants temporary permission to use another person's property, but unlike an easement, it can be revoked at any time. A reversionary interest is a future interest in property that reverts back to the grantor after a certain period or event. An easement grants a non-possessory right to use another person's property for a specific purpose. It does not convey ownership or an estate.
Question 151. Similar to a trust agreement that secures a loan on real property, A. blank secures a loan on personal property. A. Pledge agreement, B. Security agreement, C. Collateral promise, D. Chattel holder. Correct answer is B. Security agreement. When you take out a mortgage or deed of trust on real property, land and buildings, you're essentially using that property as collateral for the loan. The trust agreement creates a lien on the real property, giving the lender the right to foreclose if you default on the loan. A security agreement does the same thing for personal property, chattel, such as cars, equipment, or inventory. It creates a security interest in the personal property, which means the lender has a legal claim to that property if you fail to repay the loan. This agreement outlines the terms of the loan and the lender's rights in case of default. Both agreements serve as a form of collateral for a loan. They provide the lender with a legal mechanism to repossess and sell the property if the borrower defaults. Question 152. A listing broker knows the property he is trying to sell has some structural damage, inadequate insulation, and it is overpriced by 10%. Nevertheless, he runs an ad that reads, "Charming, well-constructed two-bedroom home for sale, not a fixer-upper, great price." The rules governing real estate ads have, structural damage and inadequate insulation are considered material defects. These are significant issues that could affect a buyer's decision to purchase the property. The broker's ad directly contradicts the known facts about the property. By stating, "well-constructed," and "not a fixer-upper," the broker is making false claims about the property's condition. This is misrepresentation. While "great price" could be considered puffing, exaggerated opinion, misrepresenting material facts is not. Puffing is generally considered to be harmless opinion. Misrepresentation is a factual lie. Real estate brokers have a duty to disclose material facts to potential buyers. Lying in an advertisement is a clear violation of this duty. Therefore, the broker has violated the rules governing real estate ads by misrepresenting material defects. Question 153. Interested in possibly buying a property, optionee Roscoe entered into an option contract with optioner Eric to purchase it, with a 6-month term. Which of the following is correct? A. A bilateral contract binding both Roscoe and Eric has been formed. B. The agreement imposes a duty on Roscoe to purchase the property before the expiration of the term. C. The option conveys a legal interest in the property to the Roscoe. D. None of the above. Correct answer is D. None of the above. An option contract is a unilateral contract, not bilateral. Only Eric, the optioner, is bound to sell if Roscoe, the optionee, chooses to exercise the option. Roscoe is not obligated to buy. That's why, a bilateral contract binding both Roscoe and Eric has been formed, is not correct. Roscoe has the right, but not the obligation, to purchase the property. He can choose to let the option expire. That's why, B. The agreement imposes a duty on Roscoe to purchase the property before the expiration of the term, is not correct. An option contract gives Roscoe an equitable interest in the property, not a legal interest. Legal title remains with Eric until and unless Roscoe exercises the option and the sale is completed. That's why, C. The option conveys a legal interest in the property to the Roscoe, is not correct. Therefore, none of the provided options are correct. Question 154. Can a broker with a listing agreement that includes an option to purchase the property exercise that option for himself? A. Yes, if broker provides written notice to the owner that he holds the option and discloses any profit he might take as a result of the transaction. B. Yes, if he shares the listing with another broker. C. Yes, if he voluntarily suspends all other real estate activities for the duration of the option. D. No, under any circumstances. Correct answer is A. Yes, if broker provides written notice to the owner that he holds the option and discloses any profit he might take as a result of the transaction. A listing agreement with an option to purchase creates a significant conflict of interest. The broker is essentially acting as both the seller's agent and a potential buyer. To mitigate this conflict, the broker must provide full and complete written disclosure to the seller. This disclosure must include 1. The fact that the broker holds the option. 2. Any potential profit the broker might make from the transaction. 3. That the seller understands the conflict of interest. 4. That the seller gives their informed consent to the broker exercising the option. The broker's fiduciary duty to the seller requires them to act in the seller's best interests. This means the broker must ensure the seller is fully informed and not taken advantage of. Sharing the listing or suspending real estate activity does not remove the conflict of interest. Only proper disclosure and consent will. Question 155. For a loan to be considered federally related, requiring that its lenders comply with the disclosure requirements of RESPA, Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act, the loan is a. Made in whole or in part by any federally insured or federally regulated lender, b. Made in whole or in part, or insured, guaranteed, supplemented or assisted by HUD. C. Is intended to be sold by the originating lender to Fannie Mae, Ginnie Mae or Freddie Mac, d. Any of the above. Correct answer is D. Any of the above. RESPA and federally related loans. RESPA is designed to protect consumers by requiring lenders to provide clear disclosures about the costs and terms of mortgage loans. The definition of a federally related loan is broad to ensure that most residential mortgage loans fall under RESPA's regulations. A. Made in whole or in part by any federally insured or federally regulated lender. Most lenders are federally insured or regulated, so this covers a large portion of mortgage loans. B. Made in whole or in part, or insured, guaranteed, supplemented or assisted by HUD. HUD, Department of Housing and Urban Development, involvement, such as through FHA or VA loans, makes a loan federally related. C. Is intended to be sold by the originating lender to Fannie Mae, Ginnie Mae or Freddie Mac. These government-sponsored enterprises, GSEs, play a major role in the secondary mortgage market. If a lender intends to sell a loan to them, it's considered federally related. Therefore, any of these scenarios trigger RESPA's disclosure requirements.